we wanted to know what people think of England fans. So we've surveyed over 2,000 people. I know the results. Joe does not.
I don't know them yet.
So we're going to go through them. Isn't that right?
That is right. I'd like to stress a couple of the things about this, though, and just emphasise that it's not hugely scientific. Of course, originally we tried to survey only people that weren't England fans, so we could find out what the rest of the world thought about England fans. But we couldn't do that because we're stupid.
It was beyond us, yes.
Yeah, and also probably what you're going to see here is lots of graphs and charts and other sort of data visualizations, which in your minds you're going to think, oh, that looks real, and it is real, but also there's an interpretation element here too. So we'll talk about those as we come to them.
Yeah, so let's get going. We're going to go, let's start with, what do people think England are going to exit the tournament? Think, not want. Well, that's important.
I can tell you, Seb, that whilst I don't know the answers to the other ones, you failed to create a title page to prevent this answer from being here in the first place. So I can tell you that people think England will exit the tournament at the quarterfinals.
Yeah, no, that was a failing. I wish you'd kept the scolding to off camera, but fine. Let's move on to the next slide, which is, where do you want England to exit the World Cup?
So this is all the people who were surveyed.
From everywhere, all over the world.
And we know that England fans and non-England fans responded to this.
Yes.
So I'm going to say that on balance then, we're probably going to end up at quarterfinals as well.
Why do you think that before you go?
Why do I think that?
Yes, why?
Well, I thought I'd already explained in my succinct answer that it mustn't have applied to someone with a brain of your size.
No.
What I was trying to say is that half of the audience potentially are England fans and half aren't. And as I can infer from the results of this one, where do you think England will exit the tournament? I imagine that those who aren't England fans will expect them and want them to exit earlier, and those who are England fans will want them to exit later. So I'm expecting there to be a kind of middle ground. Now, does that explain it for you?
That does. So let's have a look at what happened there.
Oh!
That's quite interesting.
Oh.
Group,
30.9% of people want England to win.
I feel that might be quite an English vote.
That certainly tells us.
Yes.
That gives us then, I would say, what do we want? Group stages.
Stages.
The group stages here are people who do not support England, yeah?
Yeah.
These people are the people who do support England. Semi-finals, I think that's probably sort of hopeful people. I think we've got a half and half split here with England fans. And remember I said this was unscientific.
So, next question. What do you think of England? Now, we've got a scale, and we gave people 5 different options. So, we go from strongly dislike them, and this is the team, not the region, to love them.
Okay.
With dislike them, neutral, and like them in between. Where do you think that's going to leave us?
I think that on balance, we're going to be leaning towards the middle on the basis of the failed experiment that we've seen so far.
Yes. I would also ask you to, yes, let's just move it forward.
Oh, look at that. Like them and love them is about 50%, and then neutral to not is about 50%. So again, I think I'm going to guess all of these correctly for the rest of the...
I disagree. I disagree because I'm going to throw a little curveball in here. So next question we asked is, do you prefer England players today as compared to previous England teams?
Oh.
So 3 options: prefer past teams, players, feel the same, bit of cop-out answer, or prefer this team and these players.
People definitely prefer this team and these players.
I think I probably agree with you. Let's have a quick look. Yes, indeed.
Oh, they do. They prefer, 44.9% of people prefer this team and these players. Just a 21.7% prefer the past, and 33.4%, a good third, don't care.
Kind of makes sense. Bit more humility in this England team, this group. So yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, it seems
I like them more.
From a perception perspective, there is more, isn't there?
No golden generation, no hatred. All
That's
good.
Right, yeah.
So next question. I'm moving away from the players and the team to fans. Do you like England fans? 3 options: no, yes, neutral.
Do I need to answer this one?
Oh, I think you'd be surprised.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I think you will be. Yeah.
Let's play out the surprise. Okay. I'm going to say no. People don't like England fans.
Yeah. So you are right, but I thought you'd be surprised by the neutrality. I thought it would be very much a yes or no.
I don't think, because I think here's your group of people who are certain.
Yep.
You're 40.4% of people who embrace doubt as a faith. And I think that's, either way, kind of neutral, not one way or the other. Just the 15.5% that say yes, and which, what this indicates to me, Seb, is that given that we are expecting that about half of the people who responded to this survey are actually England fans, we don't like each other.
No, there's got a lot of self-loathing in this one, isn't there?
Yeah. But there's a word, you know what? There's a word cloud later, and I think we'll be able to come back to this sort of conversation at that point.
I failed to create the word cloud. Cloud.
But I made the word cloud for you.
You did indeed.
So it's fine.
Okay, so we've got another one. We're gonna peel back some layers of this one and ask, do external factors, such as politics, history or culture, influence your view of the England football team? And this is just a simple yes, no.
Yes.
Okay. Why? Why would you say that?
Well, because I would have thought that a lot of the reasons that people maybe answered, or very few people answered yes to do you like England fans, are caught up in notions of hooliganism or elitism or stuff that I suppose relates historically to colonialism. Is that a good enough answer?
I think so. I just thought it would be a little bit more kind of based on the kind of the reactionary stuff around tournaments itself rather than the deeper history.
Right.
So I'm
a deep history guy.
You are a deep history. That is definitely how I consider
deep into history.
You are a really good history person.
Oh look, no.
There it is.
External factors such as politics, history and culture do not influence your view of England football team. Well, then these people just aren't thinking
misjudged the audience quite badly.
Deep in history enough, are they? No.
Yeah.
Okay. This is an example of when I miss with a YouTube video.
Yeah.
I think all people will like that, but then they don't like it.
The next one is a bit of a change of direction, because I thought I'd chuck in a player question just to sense the mood.
Just to be clear, I wrote all the questions, but that's fine.
He did, and I kind of finessed them a little bit. How good is Trent Alexander-Arnold? So we're recording this before we know the England lineup, or what role he's going to have in the tournament. 5 options: massively overrated, as good as people think, underrated, massively underrated.
Well, I feel confident in saying it's not going to be one of the underrated categories. I think he's as good as people think. Well, that's kind of an odd one, isn't it? Because we're about to find out what people think. So that's a sort of that. If you said as good as people think, but then most people thought overrated, then you've got 2 categories that mean the same thing.
To get you out of this sentence, I suggest we go to the answer.
So, okay, 47% of people say as good as people think, and what people actually think is as good as people think.
You know what?
So if you see what I'm saying there, that's a kind of there's the double meaning. Because most people think that's what they think, and that's what people therefore think because they think that.
And it's interesting because he is a topic of perpetual argument. Every time you go on Twitter, people are arguing over Trent Alexander-Arnold all the time. So I thought it would be one or the other.
Underrated quite high there.
Yeah,
maybe what we're seeing is the Overton window has moved across to the stage where people actually think he is underrepresented. That's interesting. Well, I like Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Okay, and to finish, we've got our word cloud. So I think best thing to do here is guess.
Just show it.
Well, no. First of all, guess which 3 words appear most prominently.
Well, because we've already divulged to the audience that you failed to make the word cloud, so I made it for you.
But they might have forgotten that.
I know the words. Why don't we ask cameraman Craig if he can guess?
What do you think? 3 words.
Aggressive.
Xenophobic. Drunk. You're asking a lot with the middle one, just for spelling purposes, but let's find out.
Yeah.
Ready?
Okay.
Well,
not what I expected.
drunk is in there somewhere. Where's drunk?
It is around there.
Oh,
There's
drunk. So drunk's quite big. You got that one. Aggressive is in there at the top as well.
Yeah.
Xenophobic didn't make it. There were three responses of xenophobic. There was a lot more of racism, which I think is racist is here.
Yeah, obnoxious, aggressive, hooligans. We had, these 2 answers here, minority, majority. Now, the caveat there is that people were talking about a minority or majority of the fan base and then applying a word. They're there because
so people saying a majority of the fans are fine or a minority of the fans are hooligans, which is on here somewhere.
Yes, it is at the top. It's just here.
But passionate is the biggest one.
Arrogance quite big, bad's quite big. Like is, I thought it'd be more negative.
Few things to point out here.
Yes.
As you already said, lots of these people responded a little bit more with some nuance than you might expect. And so people, for example, that said passionate, I think 180 people that responded said passionate, which is the highest one there. Many of those people also said a word that might be considered to be more negative, like annoying or drunk, passionate and drunk, or passionate, means drunk. Drunk isn't inherently a bad
drunk,
thing.
you know? Yes.
You could have a group of drunk fans that were just having a lovely game of what's that German game? Schuhmichael. Schuhmichael? It's not called Schuhmichael, what's it called? What's it called?
I don't know.
You know the one where you slide the disc down the door?
I have absolutely no idea.
Schumacher. No, not Michael Schumacher? Schumichael? That's why I'm saying Schumichael. Passionate.
Entitled.
If you liked today's video, please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you did like it, you might be interested in How to Watch Football, Tifo's illustrated book. It's 52 rules for understanding the beautiful game on and off the pitch, and it is the perfect holiday gift. How to Watch Football is out now in stores and online. See the link in the description to find out more, and thank you for watching today's video.